So how to create a neon psychedelic superstar in Blender. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is just select everything on scene and exit all the way. Then we're going to go into top view by clicking 7. And now we want to create our triangle. So we're going to go Shift A, Mesh, and look for our triangle. As you can see in Blender, no triangles are available, so at least not here um, at this point in time. So I'm just gonna go plane and just scale this square up like that. And then we're gonna go into edit mode. We're gonna select these vertices and go M and center. Then we're gonna be in edit mode and face select this face and just X out this face here. Then duplicate this one and scale it in. But as you can see, it doesn't scale from the middle. So we want it to scale from the middle or the center. So the way to do that is to go Control and A and then apply all transforms. Then right click and set origin to geometry. So now when we scale it in from the center. So that is this shape we are going for here. And now we're going to go into this insane material. So we're going to change the timeline into the shader editor. Click on new. And the first node that we are going to use is a mix color node. So just going to search for mix color. Then we're going to search for a color ramp. Then a separate X, Y, and Z node. And also a texture coordinate node. So now we can plug. I have some problems here with my scrolling wheel. So it will probably be a crappy tutorial, but either way, you will learn a lot of stuff. So, okay, let's just continue. So from the texture coordinates and generated into the vector, from the X into the factor of the color ramp, and from the color of the color ramp and into the A of the mix color, and then the result into the base color. So now if we change our mode here and go into preview mode, and also just create our colors here. So we're gonna change this from black into a light blue. We're gonna click this plus icon, create a new color, go for our deep blue. And I'm also going to use a purple. So purple and blue is always a good mix. You can go for whatever color you want, obviously. So the next two nodes that we're going to need is a vulnerable node and a vulnerable node again. So we're just going to duplicate this and come on, come on, come on. Get through it. Okay, there we go. So we're just going to connect the distance of this vulnerable texture into the scale. Then we're going to connect the color into the mix color. So now we're going to have something going on here. So we need to change this vulnerable texture here. So we're just going to plug that into the vector. So there we go. So now we can just copy this material to the outer triangle as well. And the way to do that is holding down Shift, click the outer triangle, click the inner one, and then go Control and L and link material. So I think it's time to change our environment here. So you can go to world, um, change the color here. Just drag this down from gray to black. Go into render properties and turn on ambient, bloom, and screen. Then we're going to change our mode again into render view. And we're not going to see anything. So we need to connect this mix color here into the emission. So now when we do that, we can see, and we can turn this to 2. We can also set this from linear to ease. Now we also want to change this from mix to divide. So now we're going to have a way more bright color. So this is sort of the essence of or the core thing of this animation. So now if we animate the material, we need a timeline first. So I'm just going to drag this one down and change this to a timeline. Then I'm going to go down here to the vulnerable texture. We're going to use the scale to change our material. So now if you just use this scale here, we're going to get this cool effect. And the bright light that sort of flickers on and off here is exactly what we're going for when we want to create this super psychedelic star. So let's set the first keyframes. So we're gonna set, we're just gonna click on this vulnerable node like that, and then we're just gonna hover a mouse over the scale and click I. So if you don't see your keyframes, you probably haven't clicked on the node. So if I click over here, the keyframes go away. Click on the node again, the keyframes return. So we have our first keyframes, and then we can go to frame 125, and we're just going to scale it up to say somewhere around 100. Click I again, go to the last frame, and here we want to use the same number as the first keyframe, so that this material works in a nice loopy way. So that number is 5.0. So we're just gonna go to the last frame and just type in 5.0 and then just click I. So now if we play this, we're gonna have this cool animation here. So if you right click on this timeline and go into interpolation mode, you can also set a kind of speed here. So we're gonna go for, let's just test one of these out. So I'm just gonna try this one. See how, okay, not that one. This is the most common one that everyone is using, linear. It makes it go in a steady and nice pace all the way, but I think I'm gonna go for this sinusoidal, something like that. So that works pretty good. So nice. The next thing we can do here is also animate the rotation of the triangle. So an easy way to do that is just click N, and then we want to rotate it around on the Y like that. So what we can do here is go hash frame divide by say 40 and just press enter. Then this triangle rotation will be in a perfect loop. So it won't stop on the end here or anything. It will just go in a circle. Or maybe it will. Okay, that's probably because of the interpolation mode. So I'm just gonna right click here and go back to this boring linear here. And let's see. I think that is good. Yeah, so now it rotates nicely without stopping. At least it seems like it's doing it for me. So we're going to just go with that. So we're also going to animate the inner triangle. So we're just going to click on that one and then use this Y. And this time we're going to go hash frame divided by 20. Just press enter. So now we're going to have this effect there. So it already looks quite cool. What we can do as well to make it a little bit more sci-fi-ish is give it a wireframe. So if we just click on this one here and we go into material and we click this plus icon, create a new material. Let's go for a purple one. And we're going to now we're going to change this to the emission. To the emission, change this to whatever color you want. I'm going to go with purple and set the strength to 20. Then if we go into the modifier tab and if we go down to wireframe and we deselect this replace original and we change this material off, we just click this once, we're going to have some nice wires or lines going here on the side. So that is dope. So I'm not going to go for the inner one, but you can obviously do the exact same thing here with the inner one if you want to. So what we can do now is just duplicate these two triangles. So we can go Shift D and then rotate on the X 180 degrees and then just move it up on the Y to just somewhere like that. Then we can select both of them again and rotate it around on the Z or C axis by 90 degrees. And then we're going to have this. So now if I play it, it looks cool. But what we can do here as well is just select everything by clicking A, go into edit mode and give it just a little bit of thickness. So we can extrude it down like that. And yeah, let's continue. So we're just going to select everything by clicking A. And then we're going to duplicate it again. And then rotate it around on the Z axis 90 degrees like that. And we're just going to drag it down just a little bit behind the triangle in the front. So now if we go back in top view, we're going to have this. And if we play it, we're gonna have this super cool looking star that goes in a perfect loop. So that is fantastic. Obviously, if you turn it around like this, it doesn't look, just looks crazy. So you want to put the camera here in the top view. And obviously, you can go crazy from here. So if I just duplicate everything again and just rotate it around 45 degrees, let's see, let's see, I'm just gonna bring it down just a little bit. And then we're gonna have something like this. So this is just up to you how crazy you want to go with this star here. And this technique also works very nicely with other kinds of shapes as well. So it's all about experimentation. So enough talking for me now. So I think this is it. And if you learn something, it would be really nice if you can subscribe. Have a great day wherever you are, and peace out.